Hello everyone. Welcome to this Google Cloud lab called Feature Store and Streaming Ingestion SDK. Let me start the lab. So here we are not going to discuss anything about the theoretical or technical details. What we are going to do is like we are going to execute the steps provided in this course for us. So let me, without any delay, copy the address and click on next. So I'm just quickly completing. At any point in time, you can pause the video and go through the steps. So here are the learning objectives. What we have, the setup is already done. Close this, open the tab. Okay, let's do cloud application list. Let me authorize. Okay, student is authorized. Let's see the projects that has been. Yeah, sorry, this is unset, so let's set the project. The command for that is reload config set project. We could come to the dashboard, select the project ID here, copy, everything, update it. Now if we can see the list, we'll get the project ID. So looks good. Now coming back to the notebooks, here in the navigation menu, API services and library, search for note, notebook API. We have the notebook API and enable. You can see the progress here if needed. Again, in the meantime, you can go to, yeah, this notebook is enabled. Now click on navigation menu. Here, Vertex AI. In the dashboard, enable all recommended APIs. Okay. All the recommended APIs has got enabled. You can see it in the notifications. To check the progress, you can click on check my progress. Okay, now let's launch the Vertex AI and workbench. User managed notebooks. Create new. Naming the notebook as Vertex AI notebook. So let me select the East zone, North Virginia, and East 4C. And TensorFlow 2.11 is the environment that it looks good. These are remaining and create. So this will take about a couple of minutes to get it displayed. So let's wait for that. And refresh here if needed. We'll close this. Okay, it took about 3 to 4 minutes to create. So let me open the Jupyter Lab. Check my progress here. That's good. Now let's clone the repository. So for this, in the Jupyter Lab, click on the terminal. It will open a terminal for us, and you can see in the left pane nothing has been downloaded yet. So once the clone is started, okay, the cloning started. You can see some files will get added in the left side. So test training data analyst. It's getting started to download. So we'll leave it a few minutes until you can see the contents. Okay, we'll do that. Once that is done, we'll click on my progress. Okay. Now if you see training data analyst, we have some files here and the progress is also successful. Now in the notebook interface, navigate to test data analyst. We are inside it. Courses, machine learning, deep dive tools, ML ops, Vertex AI managed features, labs, feature store ingestion SDK. Okay. So read carefully, go through the notebook instruction, fill in the lines marked with to do where you need to complete the code. Okay. Okay. Now, so from here on, we will take it on the left side, saying that, okay, we have the notebook, what you store, write a feature store, objective. You can pause the video and go through these objectives. And we have length, depth, paper, pass notice, Excel. Now let's install the required packages. And also make a note that, where is it? Yeah, here you can see in order to perform all tasks, you need to read all explanation, follow the instructions carefully. Some tasks may take 1 to 3 minutes to complete. Wait for each task to complete. Okay. So how do we ensure this is complete? Now you can see kernel status is idle and also you will have some number. Now let's restart the kernel. I'm using shift enter at any point. Okay, the restart status is okay. Restart is true. Click on OK. Before you begin, follow the steps required regardless of the notebook environment. Okay, I think we already have this. And make sure the building enabled. Okay, enable Vertex API. This is what we did. And in the locally. Okay, your project ID. Replace with the project ID. Okay, what is our project ID? Here we should have the dashboard. You can see this project ID. So we are configuring this project ID and then shift enter. Project ID is setup is done and our region is not to US1. First, we created the Vertex AI workbench. We created in the US East one, correct? Let me go back here. Yeah, US East 4. This should be our region. So I'm copying this. And going back to- You can also change the region variable. Vertex AI. Let me see the region. Yes. Now importing random choices. If you're live tutorial, you might be using shared account. Let me run this. I have the UUID and let me import the required libraries. That is also done. And initiating the project. Looks good. Now download and prepare. So download, remove prefix if present. Okay, fix. Okay, that's fine. Download from where? Okay. Table URL. So lens prefix. Let me run this query. Okay, public query. Here it is. Okay, that is a definition. Now we have a big query and source is BigQuery. We have the penguins. So let's go and check in the BigQuery itself. BigQuery. You can see in the BigQuery project, we have queries. Sorry, what we need to do is data canvases will do. I'm not sure how to check this BigQuery. Public data. Okay, this is coming from the public data and the ML data sets and penguins. So that's fine. So we have we'll download and we will have the data frame. Now let's prepare the feature values will be written features in the form of write feature payload objects. Okay, entity, feature ID, feature value. For pandas data say okay, prepare the data. Now remove all the null values. That is also done. Now creating the feature. Now here we have already have the UI. So penguins feature store we are creating. So let's go and search for the feature store if needed. Feature store in Vertex AI. Let's wait. Let's give it time 2 minutes. So that is what they mentioned about to wait for a few minutes. Okay. Two ways. One way is like you can see the star that will convert as a number, or else you can check whether the kernel is busy or not. I was expecting here at least to show something Check the features. Okay, not yet. Create feature backing up law zero projects location US East 2 penguins underscore UUID operations and then let me pause the video because it is going to take some time. Okay, so if you see, it took about 15 to 20 minutes, or you can see here, it took around 692 seconds to complete this cell. So feature ID and feature stories got created. Let's check in the feature story there. I don't know whether this is the right approach. Here I don't see anything. Hmm, Interesting. I was expecting I would have to see some features here because in the US East store, I couldn't see it anywhere here. But here it is saying feature store has been created in the location feature stores penguin with the name of ESC something some blah blah UUID. Okay. Now verify that the feature store, check if the feature was successfully created and running by running the following code. Okay, let's run this. Yes. This is creation time, update time, and we have a fixed node 1. It is already running the online storage. Okay, this looks good. Now let's create an entity type. Creating entity type. Okay. Again, this is going to take some time, I guess. Okay, no. Okay, fine. Got it. Now entity type has been created. Entity type is going to be penguins entity type. Okay. Now in the feature store, get entity type of entity type, right? So description is penguins entity type. Let's do some tags. So now let's create features like species, island. So you can see the length, double data types, body mass, and sex. Okay. Now features has been created, and now entity 3 batch create features. Okay. Looks good for us. Let me save just in case. And I wanted to see it here, but I'm not sure why it is not displaying. Online store. Nope, still nothing. Fine. Now let's write the features. View.write feature values. Back the features. You can see set of features here. A newly created feature will be only visible in the console when legacy. Okay. This note should be given in the previous. Okay. Let's try this. Even in central. Okay, let's try with this. Okay, here it is. This is what I wanted to say. It is in legacy actually. That is the reason they have provided this note. Okay, now let's just have a quick review. Now we see the feature store. You can see the feature store here and the entity type and feature. So this is what it got created. Now let's see what do we have in the entity. So this entity is a string, and we have some metrics, jobs, job. We don't have anything. Ad serving also we don't have anything. But anyway, in this section, we have successfully created the um, entity. So what I will do is I will go and refresh here. I mean, refresh here. You can see all this. Now, as a last step, let me click on this before I delete it. Okay, now this is completely done because I don't want to delete it. Let me force delete it. Let's see whether how this is going to behave. So the command has been successful. Let me download this for my internal use. Okay, so let me finally just go and refresh and see. Yeah, everything is got deleted. Looks good. Let me close this. Files we don't need anymore. And let me in the lab as well. And we have got the puppets.